We talk about it every once in a while, those like fancy restaurant terms or things you see on restaurant menus that seem like, oh, that's fancy, but it's actually really, really simple. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make tapenade, hand chopped. I'm gonna do it the way I like to do. It's very, very simple. We're gonna put that in a little caprese sandwich, something simple. I mean, we are in Florida. It's not cold yet.
Not yet.
But I would still eat this even in the middle of winter.
I wouldn't.
It's that delicious.
You know what I say about tapenade?
What do you say about tapenade?
Tapenade, dude.
Oh, because of the olives? If you don't like olives, just skip over to one of CJ's videos. If you do love olives, hang out. I'm gonna show you guys how to make it. If you can find chicken cutlets, use them today. I just cut a chicken breast in half. CJ, can you see that? I took my chicken breast, nice and thin, in half. I want it to cook quick, but I also want my meat to bun to tapenade ratio to be good. If it's like a whole chicken breast, all the others, too much. It's going to be too much. Now I'm going to use some of our tutto Italiano on both sides here. Essentially what we're looking for is just a very flavorful little bit of chicken, because we do have tomato and we have cheese and we have basil. So if we use a big old fatty chicken breast, like your sandwich is gonna be way too tall and not very manageable to eat. Now I've been preheating my griddle to medium. I'm gonna add just a bit of olive oil, and let's go ahead and get our chicken cooking. Now let's get to our tapenade. Now I did mention olives earlier, and we have quite a few of them. First I have some Kalamata olives. Now these are very rich, very salty, a heavy olive flavor. That makes sense? Does that make sense, CJ?
Well, it does, since you're using a heavy amount of olives.
I'm a huge fan of a dirty martini, so I'm also gonna use some Queen olives. Now this does have the pimento. I like the little bit of color. I'm gonna use all of these. I'm gonna use some capers. If you've never had capers, check out these little beauties. CJ, can you see these things? These things are magical little pops of salty goodness. Big, big fan. Now you notice we didn't add any salt to our chicken. The tutto Italiano is fantastic, but it's not super, I wouldn't say it's super salty. Sometimes I add a little bit more salt when I'm using it, because we have plenty of salt here. Now the last little thing I'm gonna add is some sun-dried tomatoes. Now these pack an absolute punch of flavor. They have a decent amount of sweetness and a good bit of saltiness too. Some of this oil, I'm gonna reserve that for later. We also have, let's do to this three cloves of garlic. Let's do 3 cloves of garlic.
Sounds good.
Now we're just gonna go to town. Essentially what we're looking for is a really fine chop. You could do this in a blender, but what ends up happening is it turns into a paste, and you don't want that. Let's go nice and rough chop. It's gonna look rustic. It's gonna be beautiful. You want it to be nice and bite-sized, but not spreadable. So you want it to be a little bit chunky. All right, that looks absolutely perfect. I might go a touch more, but my chicken is sounding done. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, we are not quite finished with our tapenade, but we are winning already. This is fantastic. Now I'm gonna take a zester, and I'm gonna take a bit of this before I juice the lemon. You kind of want these fine little flecks of citrus. The aromas and those beautiful oils and flavors in the lemon really ignite that salty flavor of the olive. We don't need a ton, just enough to really get that little bright punch of aroma. It's almost floral and fauna, CJ.
Anything else, guy?
Nope, that's all I got. Let's go a little bit more than that. When you're doing zest, you really don't want to get down into the white part. Let me show you, CJ. You don't want to go, actually, I can go a little harder. You don't want to go too much farther than that, because then it just starts to get bitter and pithy, because it's pith. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Got a little toss in there. Beauty. You know, let's do a little bit of juice too. Just a touch of juice. Not a ton, just a little. Sometimes when you're adding lemon juice as well, it's not as much about getting a lemon flavor as it is to get that acidity, that little bright touch of acidity. CJ, when we were hanging out with Norman, he used to talk about that a good bit. You know, a little punch of acidity, just a little bit of acidity really takes the flavors to a whole nother level. Last little thing, CJ, can you see in this bowl still? I've got a little bit of that oil that the sun-dried tomato was carried in. So let's add just a touch of that oil as well. Now that is that last little touch. Now when you try this, you'll understand more why I did not add any salt, any additional salt to the chicken, because we don't need it. All right, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna scoot this off to the side for now. And let's check on our chicken real quick to make sure we are kosher. I think we need another minute or so. Yeah. Yeah, let's go just another minute or so. We can get to the rest of our prep. Now, a traditional caprese, very, very simple. Mozzarella, tomato, basil.
Basil.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I did it. I'm not going to do it. See what happens when CJ Frazier's on the set? I'm going to take a little bit of tomato and do some nice thin slices. I said it earlier, it's definitely cool for us, but it is not winter yet.
No, but it's fantastic.
Oh, it is stunning, stunningly gorgeous. I'm going to take just a bit of basil too. Let's keep the leaves. I like the leaves like that, nice and whole. Big, beautiful leaves.
So no chiffonade?
Not today, sir. But I'm very impressed that you remembered the word. And you know how to use it.
I do, as a matter of fact.
If I haven't said it recently, I'm incredibly happy about how much CJ has learned from me.
You know, you remind everybody as often as you possibly can.
I've got some ciabatta. Now, you can use any bread that you like. If you have focaccia, that's super cool too. I'm going to go ahead and put these down. I might add a touch more. You know what I'm going to do, CJ?
A little bit of that.
I'm taking this sun-dried tomato oil. Let me scoot my chicken back a little bit. Hey, we're pulling an audible. I'm going to scoot the chicken back. And let's go with some of that beautiful sun-dried tomato oil.
With the seasoning right there?
Come on, with the seasoning, man. All right, get a little rub. Last little bit here is mozzarella. We're gonna slice this nice and thin, and this is gonna go over the top of our chicken in just a minute. But let's go ahead and pull those buns off after they're nice and beautifully toasted, and we can start assembling this gorgeous caprese on top of our chicken. The nice thing about all these flavors playing so well together, we have the saltiness of the tapenade, that bright, fresh sweetness of the tomato, the really juicy, juicy tomato. We've got the basil, which just has an unbelievable flavor, and that mozzarella. All these things together, it's unbelievable. This is one of those melty, absolute delicious things that's just too easy not to make. Let's put a dome on that and let it melt, and we're like 60 seconds away, CJ.
Love it.
Let's do this. CJ Frazier.
Yes, sir.
Ethan.
Yes.
Come on. Look at this. Look at this. Majesty. Oh, wow.
Cheese
come on.
melty.
So good. Let's take our bottom bun and go right down. There we go. I mean,
It fit. I was worried.
You were worried it wasn't going to fit?
I was worried.
Why?
Because.
Oh, look at all my cheese back here. Actually, this is kind of awesome.
Take it.
Pull that cheese back. It's kind of toasty. Pull it back up on top.
Little skirt.
Well, oh wow.
A lot of skirt.
I should have done that. I did that on purpose, everybody.
I'm gonna do this, except I'm gonna do it better.
Oh, look at that.
Better skirt than
Look
next time.
at that. Pulling a Todd Tobin here. I'm just awing. I'm in awe. Aw.
Oh.
Is that me being? Is me being in awe? Yeah. I mean, this is. What is there to say? You could add more tapenade if you want to. A touch of sweetness will go a long way. Let me just get this to the middle of the cutting board for you guys. If you want to go more traditional caprese style, you could take a little balsamic glaze and just give it a what for? A 1-2, just like that, and boom. I mean, there aren't very many sandwiches that are easier. I would say there are a few that are more delicious. It's kind of classy and classic. Can you put those together?
Sure.
It's classy-ish. Yeah. It's one of those sandwiches that you make once and you go, this is going in the catalog. This is going in the arsenal. I'm gonna make this more and more and more. But that tapenade, that was the key. But before we get to that, I'm gonna take a bite of this mother. Layers of goodness. That salty tapenade.
Okay, don't lie.
I've never been to Italy.
Awful.
I've never been to Italy. I want to go.
Salami.
Wrong show. Get out of here. That to me tastes like a mini vacation. It's all happening. The sweet, the savory, the salty. That tapenade is so money. The sun-dried tomato edition is not traditional, but sun-dried tomato tapenade, so good.
Yeah, this is something that my wife would love for me to
that
for her because she
crispy
loves
cheese?
olives.
I'm actually gonna do this next time. I wasn't planning on it. I'm gonna let the cheese fall over and do a cheese skirt next time I do this.
Heck yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. You gonna try it, CJ?
I think I am.
Come here, do it on camera.
Really?
So, for you to know, CJ doesn't like olives. It doesn't taste like olives. It tastes like beautiful, savory, salty, briny goodness.
I like briny goodness.
Well,
that was a huge bite.
come on.
Tapa Yadu?
Top of y'all, dude. So bad. So bad.
I got you.
Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for checking out this one. So stupid. Give tapenade a try. You can skip any of those ingredients, but olives really are the moneymaker. Can't go wrong with a Caprese sandwich. So good, so simple, so delicious. If you haven't, check out that Tutto Italiano. That stuff is super, super good. If you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button down below. Click the little bell icon so you get a notification every time we post a video. Leave a comment, share it if you love it. Find us on all the social media platforms. I am Chef Nathan Lippy. This is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we like to help you become a better cook, one recipe at a time. And Ethan, I gotta share, but I don't wanna. See you guys in the next video.